So is this just a rated R report?
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. Welcome.
Welcome.
This is the Rated R report.
Absolutely.
I'm your host, that guy.
The
This is my co-host, the other guy.
That's
and
me.
then our guest, these guys.
They're people.
Support, no DQ.
So welcome guys. We've got the Cleaver Colin Andrew. We've got the Holiday Chris Mace. We've got the General Jerry Slaughter. I am the Rated R reviewer Stephen Osborne. Welcome to the Rated R report. And tonight I'm going to let my best friend Jerry
Thank you, best friend Steph.
take over here because most of our show is going to theme around Best Friends Day.
Yep, Best Friends Day. Today's Best Friends Day. We're going to keep on saying Best Friends Day.
And none of us knew this, but Jerry knew it.
Yeah, it's been all over the Book of Faces, amongst other things.
But I haven't watched all of Super Showdown, so I have to stay off the Book of Faces. And I have no idea.
But that actually works in our favor. But today we're going to talk about tag team wrestling. First off, we're going to go into basics right now. What do we consider to be the fundamentals of a great tag team?
Okay, first and foremost,
Yes.
you gotta have one entrance.
Yes.
I believe that if your entrances do not seamlessly weave in together where you can have each of your, coming out with your song and somehow it weaves right into the next guy, that's the next best thing, but I think you need to be one with the entrance.
Yeah, the cohesive unit going down to the ring itself. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go with Chris Mace. Another one. Name it off.
Oh, Lord. They have to have good communication. They have to be able to work well together. They have to be able to function cohesively. They have to know what each other's doing at all times.
That's always a plus.
Well, that's basic.
Yeah, that's basic. Colin, what you got for me?
Well, for me, what makes a good tag team is you have two different styles. There's your more aggressive brute, and then there's your more, I don't want to say aerial, but,
technical?
just does the technical. There we go. Thank you, Stephen. For me, that's always been huge in tag teams for me.
So you're talking Heart Foundation.
You got your work. Yeah, it's just, it works perfect. You work off each other, and it all flows. So that's one thing I've loved about tag team wrestling.
For me, it all starts with the matching tights.
Yes. Okay,
that is cohesion right there. If you have matching tights, we know you're a tag team. It could be just the same type on your ass, like with your names on it, whatever. As long as you're coming out maybe matching jackets or at least matching colors, so people are like, hey, these two cohesive unit. Eichner and Bartel, they both got pretty much monogram tights. So, and the jackets are relatively similar when they come out as well. So, that automatically screams cohesive unit. You had Doom for alongside Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. Black tights, and they had the black mask they actually came out with too. They almost looked like Executioner mask.
Hawk and Animal.
Yeah, Hawk and Animal. Matching paint, matching spikes. You automatically knew just by the way these two look that they're going to be messing you up, but they're going to be messing you up together.
So for me, this is the next one has got to be, and I know it's basic, but this is something we're going to come back to when we start rating some of these things.
Okay.
Tag team finishing move.
Yes.
Now, I'm of two minds on this. I love a tag team that's just a tag team, and they've got an awesome finishing move, like, say, the 3D. In this era, I think my favorite finishing move is the Shatter Machine. Because it's like a Dudley Death Drop, but now it's with a code breaker, a double code breaker, I guess. And I think Jericho was innovative with the code breaker. I'm sure it had been done in Japan or some shit, but to bring it to WWE, and now you throw the pancake into it, or the flapjack or whatever, and I think that's this generation's 3D. Or you've got two people in the tag team that were formed and each have an individual finisher, but somehow they've managed to meld both finishers together seamlessly. Those are awesome too. but definitely the finisher.
Yeah.
You got to have a tag team finisher. You can't go in there and just expect one guy or the other to do their individual finisher to win every match.
Yeah. That's always a plus.
It's a bonus if you can do that, but you got to have a tag team finisher.
Oh yeah.
Chris. Okay, sorry, Jerry.
No, go ahead. That actually works out because I like how this rotation is going right now.
What's next, Chris?
Are we going to continue to talk about tag teams? Because I want to know what tag team who didn't have the same finisher worked well together, because they didn't have a tag team finisher. Like, for example, the Outsiders in WCW, they didn't have a combination finisher. Scott Hall used the Razor's Edge. Kevin Nash used Powerbomb to win. They didn't have a finisher that he used like the Hart Foundation did, or the Dudleys, or the Legion of Doom. So what to great tag teams or tag team wrestlers work good without having a finisher that worked together?
Well, that's one of those things where having a finisher together is just one of the things that makes a great tag team. So they fulfilled so many others that, like, they weren't even all that good in the ring as a tag team.
No. They're just two superstar talents that are just kind of lumped together, and people cheered them or booed them.
Most of their victories were squash matches. Like, it's
the Outsiders. When they beat Lex Luger and Sting, and they beat Harlem Heat for the tag titles, or usually when they beat the Nasty Boys, they beat all these teams.
But they were always heels. Matches. They were always heels, and usually to get those victories required heel tactics. So you can get big wins with heel tactics, but to create a legacy, you got to have a lot of wins. Most of their wins were against jobbers. They just went in and squashed people.
Because if we're going by that logic, like a couple tag teams I can think of that didn't have, conjoining finishing moves, but they at least had moves that they did during the match that showed that they were a cohesive unit.
Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah, Rock and Sock Connection's a good one. APA. Actually, they had the double spine buster.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, but even then, it was the Dominator and the Clothesline from Hell were like the main ones. If you were getting laid out by either one of those things, your life sucked. But you also had a team like Whipwreck and Tajiri in ECW, because you'd be getting hit with a buzzsaw kick by Tajiri on one side and getting flattened out by a whippersnapper.
Well, that's the difference between you and me, because I would have never picked that tag team as one of the best ever.
Oh, Whipwreck and Tajiri?
Yeah.
I'm considered one of the best, but I consider them pretty.
In the conversation.
They're extremely innovative in the ring with their actual the build up to their finisher. They had a lot of really cool catapult moves that they would do together, arm drag takeovers, whatever else, and they just looked like a cohesive unit, in the ring. But when it came down to it, there wasn't a move together that they actually did to actually rack up the victories.
Gotcha. So what's next on the list, Chris, as far as what makes a great tag team?
Or Colin?
No.
Or Chris?
Well, Chris just commented on what I had said, so it's still his turn.
What makes a great tag team to me is, like we were just talking about, you just brought up the victories they have to me and how many championship and accomplishments they end up doing. I think that's one way to determine a great tag team all around. You have the Dudley Boys, who ended up with 24, 25 World Tag titles.
Oh yeah, it's really dominant.
I mean, they were really dominant.
There's a team that had a finisher together.
They said the Legion of Doom. And their heyday, they were NWA, AWA, WWF tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
They were dominant for their period of time when they were champions. So I think the success is when you get the company trust you enough to have the belts put on you and to run with the ball, and they continuously doing it numerous times. They have faith in you as a tag team that you can put butts in those seats. You can get over. You can do all the things you need to do to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There are a few times where tag belts get put on teams not for any of those great reasons.
Yeah.
But usually those teams don't get very many tag championship victories.
That was a WWF staple for the longest time. Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels are going to be going against each other at pay-per-view. What are we going to do? We're going to put the titles on them on Monday Night Raw.
That was like King of the Ring, 97 they did that match when they won the tag titles from the British Bulldog and Owen Hart?
Yeah, I think it was something around that period.
So, Colin, what's next on the list?
So, for me, I know we're past this era in professional wrestling, at least in WWE, but I remember all the good tag teams when I was a kid, for the most part, had a good manager.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, they had a good manager or a valet or whatever you want to call it.
If they could,
Foundation, had Jimmy Hart. Legion of Doom had Ellering.
And then Sonny.
And Sonny when they came
Sonny
back.
with Body Donnas.
It's just, the Body Donnas just managers made great things happen, even with singles wrestlers. I know this isn't on the subject, but managers made memorable things happen.
That'll be a definite one for the next one, would be managers and valets, I think. So
the unsung heroes.
Oh, they are, because in the long run.
No, the referees are the unsung heroes.
Well, with managers and whatnot, you have to take in consideration.
Sid White.
Especially with you have these teams that so one of them or both of them aren't really the best of mouthpieces. Like, they basically are there to either are really technical wrestlers that can't speak well, or they're just those big brawling types that anything that comes out of their mouth is just stupid. So you had to have somebody that can actually cut a good promo. But what makes a great tag team for me lately is that kind of dynamic. Like, you'll have somebody that can speak well in the ring, but then the other one just kind of hangs back. Kind of like the Gibson Drake thing we were talking about the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Gibson says a lot of shit without saying a lot of shit, yes. And James Drake is just there as almost like the hype man. He'll just walk around, mouth the words every now and then, but he'll just mean mug the crowd and just gets heat just from doing that. And if you can have that kind of dynamic, or if they just play off well with each other, like during promos and whatnot, that works
like
too.
Harlem Heat.
Yeah. If they're polar opposites, that's just as well. CM Punk and Colt Cabana. CM Punk, ultra serious. Colt Cabana, one of the biggest comedians on the planet, but together, as Second City Saints, they're almost unstoppable because they're two of the best technical wrestlers in the world.
So what's your next spot on the list?
Well, that was going to be it, really. But, just the ability to cut a good promo in the ring. But at the same time, I'd have to say what makes another great tag team is the ability to get the other one pumped up for the hot tag. Basically, if you're able to, get the crowd behind them, or not put your partner pummeled every 5 seconds by running into a ring and distracting the referee or whatnot. But if you're able to pull off a great flurry of offense from a hot tag, that makes you a good member of a tag team at least. So there's always that one person that seems like it's always the brunt of the punishment, the John Oates to Daryl Hall of the team. The Andrew Ridgely to George Michael. Pretty much that one guy that nobody could ever really remember the name of. I'll go ahead and say it, the Jannetty to the Michaels. Because everybody saw Michaels going somewhere, but nobody really saw Jannetty going anywhere. So, but they had tandem offense, they had everything else going for them, but it was clear from almost the get-go that Michaels was going to be the star in that group. So
this was true. Do we have anything else to add to the list?
What about storytelling? When you're wrestling as a tag team, you have storytelling where if your partner's getting beat down, you got the the other partner in the corner, he's doing a storytelling. His facial expressions, his motivation. Come on, man, tag me.
Well,
I think
that's the hot tag.
is another thing too.
The hot tag is pretty much what I just said. So, but yeah, either way, it all works out. So where do we go from here? Do we want to talk about the best tag teams we think that exhibit these things, or do we want to talk about tag team maneuvers in general?
I mean, if you're talking tag teams that exhibit all of those things, I would say Harlem Heat and the Hart Foundation are probably the two best tag teams. Maybe the Dudleys.
The Dudleys were extremely good about it.
Dudleys were, yes.
But they didn't. Well, they did briefly have a valet in Trish Stratus, didn't they?
Who, Dudleys?
Yeah, the Dudleys.
No,
Dudleys never had Trish Stratus. They had Stacy Keibler.
Are we talking about LOD? We're talking about Dudley. The Dudleys had Stacy Keibler. LOD had Sonny.
There we go. Stacy Keibler.
Yeah.
I got my blondes wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I remember now.
Well, another
Dudley Bill.
Like, if we're going to talk about managers and valets and their tag teams, the late Ashley Mazzaro and Brian Kendrick and Paul London. Awesome tandem. You have Matt Hardy and Lita, or Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy and Lita, Team Extreme. You have, so many great tag teams around the Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression Era. Like, the tag team division now is kind of sparse.
Deuce, Domino, and Cherry? I'm kidding.
Oh, yes. They started off in WWE. I was watching
Cade and Murdoch.
Can't leave them out.
Cade and Murdoch.
Cade and Murdoch were great, too. They did not they did not nearly get enough time to shine.
La Revolution. What were the French guys?
La Resistance.
La Resistance.
Rene Dupree, Sylvain Grenier, and Rob Conway. And the Cleaver, sporting a shirt for one of the best representations right now of that, because we have Red Dragon, more or less, the Undisputed Era.
Except Bobby Fish keeps getting injured.
Bobby Fish is just injury prone.
He's the new Ken Kennedy.
Oh my God, yes he is.
I wish Ken Kennedy had become Vince McMahon's son. That only made sense, man. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
That's what was supposed to happen. Then they decided to blow up Vince instead, and all the other crap started happening, and all of a sudden became Hornswoggle. But even in Hornswoggle, it was revealed to be it was so convoluted.
So then, who is Vince McMahon's illegitimate son? We never found out.
No, we didn't.
Main roster BS continuity. Jesus.
Why did I say BS? I'm glad they totally fucking got rid of that.
They used to have such good continuity. It's like the writers actually watch the other stuff, the shows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They actually had some sense of WWE or WWF history.
I think they actually have a job now for somebody to watch the shows and keep track of continuity. And they are not doing a great job.
They just kind of threw their hands up in the air.
They've been watching the shows since they got hired to watch the shows instead of, I've been watching these shows for 20 years.
It's no longer like, a long-running sitcom type thing. It's more like an anthology, like Tales from the Crypt. Each episode is something completely different. It has absolutely nothing to do with the show prior. You want the insane amount, the 24/7 championship, and that's it. That's the only continuity that's going on right now.
That would be an amazing job, though, if your job was to go back and watch all of the product and you get paid for every hour you spend on the network.
Oh.
Sign me up.
I have nosebleeds every time I go home, but it'd be neat.
So, let's go with entrance music. Who's got the best tag team entrance?
Oh, best tag team entrance?
Just entrance, period.
Dudley Boys.
Oh, I was about to say, the Dudley entrance always got me pumped regardless.
Dudleys, Hardys.
Because, with the Dudleys, you had, like, Devon completely, going everywhere, doing his testify stuff and just stomping. Mm-hmm. But if they're in championship mode, you had Bubba with, like, one of the belts across his face, like, all sorts of menacing and just walking down to the ring.
You got to go with either Edge or Christian or the Hardys as the Brood coming up through the flame hole.
Oh, yeah.
flame hole.
I almost forget that there was a New Brood.
The New Brood.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
With Michael Hayes.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was after Michael Hayes. They betrayed Michael Hayes.
Oh, they betrayed Michael Hayes.
Yeah.
Hooked up with Gangrel.
Yeah.
And then betrayed Gangrel.
Yep.
Because they were brothers, man. What did you expect, Gangrel, you dumbass? So I've watched that recently. I was saying. Best music. It's hard to pick. Usually when you think best
Billy
music,
and Chuck?
Oh, hell no. We don't want to hear no, you look so... We don't want to hear that. No, a bad song.
Oh, man. Well, you have to give it... You actually have to give it up to Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg for that, though. But
there you go. That is
the New Age Outlaws. Like, the second you heard, oh, you didn't know that they've had their own entrance?
Exactly who it was.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the best entrance of all tag teams.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Because they got the crowd involved with their entrance every time.
Yeah. Oh, the second you heard those first riffs, you knew that, like,
Start to finish.
Yeah. Start to finish, it was always brilliant.
So, what about tag team finishers?
Okay, so are we talking about just the actual ones that both the wrestlers do? Because the Dudley Death Drop's already way up there. I think we actually covered this in one of the top 5s.
So let's rehash.
We did, actually.
Yeah. So, is it like...
You have notes on this.
Yes, I do, but I'd really use my other notebook.
It's around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's right here. I'll go ahead and dig through it. You guys start discussing, go back to what we had.
Well, it's sort of like the Logic who has 3 phones, but we're not talking about that.
So what are we going off of? Best tag team maneuver or best combo, like finisher?
Either or.
I think we were talking about best combo finisher.
But it could be either or. I mean, some of those I think were combinations, like the high-low was one of them. I think it's in the new one.
Or the twist of fate into the swanton.
That was always a great setup too.
Or the Doomsday Device Legion of Doom did, or the Heart Attack that the Heart Foundation did.
The high-low was always so cool looking.
And everybody does a different high-low.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go right.
It was basically the Legion of Doom's move.
No, he did a bulldog. Rick Steiner did a bulldog off the top rope, and Steiner picked him up.
That's right. Yeah, I can't remember what it was called though.
I don't remember the Steiner. That wasn't the Steiner line. No, I know it wasn't Steiner line. I can't remember. Damn, it's been that long since they wrestled before. I didn't think about it.
I think they usually ended up winning off of individual moves. I seem to think the Frankensteiner won a lot of matches for them.
Yeah.
And toward the end of their tag team in the Steiner recliner.
But isn't that considered a tag team move if you pick the guy up to put up top on the guy for the Steiner or for the Frankensteiner? Because I don't think he ever executed it like say Rey Mysterio would, where he jumps him from,
Yeah.
Didn't Rick Steiner usually set Scott Steiner on the dude's shoulders?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, Scott Steiner used to put his opponent on his shoulders, and he went up to Rick Steiner, who was on top rope, and hit a bulldog, and that's how they win matches.
There we go. That's their finisher.
Like there's one that I really enjoy right now that still doesn't have a name, and that's with the Street Profits. Their electric chair with a blockbuster. That's just impressive.
That's a sweet move.
Especially since the fact that they have not botched that in any way, shape, or form since they started pulling it off.
Well, you got to think about it. If you're stacked up 2 guys tall, who is capable of doing that kind of leap?
No, nobody.
But Montez Ford.
Montez Ford.
But not only that, but now you have to take the bump.
Yeah.
From all the way up there, because it's a blockbuster. You have to carry it all the way down.
Yes.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Can we just call that Bring the Swag?
I'll second that.
Sure. We can call it that. I doubt they will.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what they call it, though.
Maybe someone's watching.
I would just call it the Prophet's Drop.
The Prophet Drop.
The Prophet Drop. That's what I would call it.
Sure. What about managers? Who's the best managers?
For me, Bobby the Brain Heenan. For if anything, the Brain Busters with Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Paulie Dangerously, because
Paul oh my God, I can't believe I just butchered his last name. Oh my God, Paul Earl. Oh, I'm not gonna say
Ellering.
Y'all know
Ellering.
Leading to
Yeah.
Ellering, yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Shirley.
Who?
Shirley.
Shirley?
What about Sherry Martel?
Sensational Sherry, yes. Like her with Harlem Heat was just brilliant. Even then, like for the longest time, it just felt like it didn't make sense. But then when they started getting more wins, it made more sense, and it gave them more confidence to have her in their corner. And that's when they started talking more, and that's when we started seeing more Booker T's personality come out. So, and now look at him. You know,
I'd say Lita with the Hardys.
Well, she was great for like anytime they actually needed that extra help also in the ring.
Well, that was a bonus that she was also a wrestler.
Yeah.
But
Trish Stratus actually made people care about Tess and Albert.
That's true. That's true. I don't know if I'd put her up there at the top of the list though.
I wouldn't know. Jimmy Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Hart's always been like one of those ones that's just perfect.
Eric Bischoff.
Oh, for 3-minute warning?
No, for the Outsiders for one, but it's and it's sort of off because he wasn't really their manager, but he was always out there with them. Because he went out there with everybody in WO, especially if it was Hogan. But if it was Hall and Nash, he'd go out there with them too.
Yeah.
Usually accompanied by everybody else, but I'd say if there was anybody that was a manager, it was him, because he was always out there with his NWO.
All right, a little bit. Go on.
What about China? Did we add her into that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would totally add China.
For the exact same reason, because she was always out there with DX. So she would be manager for all of them, but she was definitely also manager for the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, all right. So, with every great tag team, usually comes the inevitable betrayal. So,
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty automatically comes to mind. But what would you say was one of those tag teams that split up and you just kind of went to the screen like, no?
Okay. Best Friends Day. It's got to be Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
No, I was thinking Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, but
well, that's the obvious one.
Yeah, but you said Best Friends Day, and I was, everyone was thinking inside the box.
Come on,
earlier,
Festival of Friendship, man.
Yeah,
I had to call that one.
Like
one
of my favorite segments of ever, ever. Or what? Even Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Owens plays a great best friend backstabber.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
Oh, he's great.
He's like that fat kid in school that you just trust, and then all of a sudden he's just a douche.
He sells you well on the idea that he can make a friend.
Yep.
I love a best friend.
What about the Shield when Seth Rollins turned on him unexpectedly?
Well, technically speaking, Seth Rollins did turn on his tag team partner in Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that one.
When the
Dean Ambrose turned on Seth Rollins just the same as well.
Which was it? Was it Gunn turned on Road Dogg, didn't he? Gunn went heel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gunn went heel there. Didn't Matt go on Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah.
In a big way, because he started getting jealous of all times like Jeff and Lita were spending together.
And when Christian turned on Edge.
Oh, Christian and Edge was tough.
Christian and Jericho too. I mean, that was a good segment. Trish Stratus was involved there. So,
What about when was it Hawk tried to kill Animal, or Animal tried to kill Hawk, or they made it?
Heidenreich tried to kill him.
Oh my God!
No, when he
Droz tried to climb.
It was Droz.
Oh, Droz.
Yeah.
to save Hawk,
and then
Hawk fell off the Titantron. And it left you with that cliffhanger of Draws just like, I didn't do anything on top of the fucking Tron.
Yeah.
With his hand up.
Oh, I thought it was... Okay, anyway. That was a good one, though.
Yay, death!
That's right up there with Sting being lit on fire on top of the Tron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or what about, could we say Brett or Owen turning on Brett? Because they were, they kind of were a team for a little bit, and then they weren't, and then it was Hart Foundation. This is like WrestleMania 10 time.
That when he turned on at the Royal Rumble.
Didn't Stevie Ray turn on Booker T?
Yeah, he joined up with the NWO.
Yep. That's classic anyway. Anytime somebody joins the NWO, it's classic.
It's usually like brothers that end up splitting up like that. They're like, but you guys are brothers. You can't be doing this. When Cade and Murdoch split up because Murdoch wouldn't stop singing and Cade just got sick of it. And they just kind of turned his back on him.
When Cody Rhodes turned on Hardcore Holly in that surprise when Ted DiBiase Jr. debuted. And that's shocking, where my tag team partner is Cody Rhodes. That was one of those interesting, shocking moments. You didn't think that was going to happen. I wasn't expecting that at that time.
That was an excellent one because I did not see it coming. And yes, those are the best types that you don't really see coming. And sure enough, that happens. Oh man, I had forgotten all about that, and more or less legacy starting to form at that point because that's when they end up hooking up Randy Orton after a while too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or when Scott Hall turned on Kevin Nash as Slamboree when you weren't expecting the outsider, the one Scott Hall to turn on Kevin Nash, and he did.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That was something I wasn't expecting at the time.
Which one just kind of happened recently that I'm drawing a blank on? Well, it just happened not that long ago.
That's a good one. I don't remember which one that happened recently.
Anyway,
was it on the main roster? Because I've been zoning out on that a lot lately.
Well, I'm about to say with the main roster lately, their tag teams have been so lackluster that they kind of have to keep them together.
Wasn't it Miz and Shane?
Miz and Shane, that was it.
Yeah, Miz and Shane.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can think of.
I was there that night too.
Well, that's one team we didn't really talk about was Morrison and the Miz.
Oh yeah, and Eminem.
Yeah.
Oh come on! They had the manager. Okay, Melina's got to be up there.
Oh yeah, Melina was a great manager.
The entrance because of the manager. I was a teenager, man. I'm just saying.
Yep.
No. I mean, when Melina got in the ring.
I did the splits and shit.
Yeah. Well, that was the moment of the entire entrance that every guy in the stadium or watching on television was waiting for.
Yep.
And then. But it got eyes on the entrance.
I'm going to say this right now. Eminem may be a perfect prototype for a tag team because then you got Mercury, who's kind of forgettable, doesn't have his own finisher, and pretty much was not really the mouthpiece of the group because Morrison did, Nitro at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because before that time, he was like Johnny Nitro, John Hennigan, Johnny Mundo, whatever. But yeah, they're definitely one of those tag teams that after a while, after Mercury got his face caved in and couldn't wrestle anymore, like Morrison just kind of took off.
And he had like 7 finishers.
Yes. So all they had together was the snapshot, I think it was.
Even with this flippy spinny shit of the Jefferson Starship, I think my favorite finisher, I can't remember what he called it, but it's where a guy would be sitting on the mat in the upright position, and he would come sliding in with a knee to the face.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he called it, but that's my favorite finisher because it seems basic, but when he delivers it, you're like, yeah. Like, I've played wrestling video games. That finisher would knock a fucker out and split him open.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, when it got added to the video games, it did. It would split you the fuck open.
So now my question, real quick, since we're on tag teams, is what would be the most unusual tag team that was very successful in y'all's opinion?
Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah, I was about to say, the Rock and Mankind is going to be way up there with that. Because there's such conflicting personalities. You're like, how's this team going to work? And it just did.
Cesaro and Sheamus.
Cesaro and Sheamus, they got together out of necessity, but at the same time...
I love the story going into it with the best of 7 and then the rubber match ending in both of them winning or both of them losing. I can't remember what it was.
It was a draw.
And that's why I think they should put together Lee and Dijakovic. And that should be Regal's mentality about it. It's like, you guys keep on wrestling each other. There's really nothing. It's almost stalemate every time. You know why? Because you guys are two very like-minded individuals. You're both very powerful. You're both very talented. You should join forces, become a tag team, and dominate in the NXT tag division.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kane and X-Pac was mine. I would say they were
that's a good one
at the time.
Mm-hmm. That is a really good one.
I was thinking Tajiri and William Regal.
Regal and Tajiri.
Yeah.
Tajiri. Alright, is there a finisher that you would have liked to see with two single superstars that you never saw together?
Obviously, you've got one in mind. Give us an example.
Well, Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin music could be turned into so many different things. Basically, he could Sweet Chin music somebody, they could turn around into any kind of move. They could turn into a stunner. So, triple suplex from Kurt Angle.
Well, that's just a sweet individual wrestler's setup move that could be a finisher combo.
Yeah.
But I like that idea because, we've seen recently with the Grizzled Young Veterans, that they come out of that tombstone into the Ticket to Ride. Well, now it is Ticket to Mayhem combined, but we also saw that he can do that by himself. But I feel like you could do so many moves off of that setup now. Mm-hmm. Now that it's known that it could be a good setup, you could just come off with a cutter.
Yeah.
Very basic, but would be awesome. But I think that's one of those great setup moves, though, is that you can pick anybody from the Attitude Era and put their finisher right after a super kick.
Yeah. Well, one of the coolest things I ever saw was in Ring of Honor, back when it was Kevin Steen and El Generico. Because this is back when Kevin Steen would do or Kevin Owens now, would do the package pile driver, and then he would roll that backwards into El Generico, and El Generico would pick the guy up and deliver a brain buster, right after. So, that to me was a great finisher. And
so El Generico's finisher was the brain buster?
Yes.
So basic.
But his finisher was the brain buster, which was a brain buster onto top turnbuckle. Off the second or third rope.
That's where you put originality into.
Yes, that was his brain buster.
Because it's like Austin Aries' originality is that it's a snap brain buster or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still a brain buster, and I just put him
on
the same level as Chavo Guerrero, man. Come on, man. Come on, brain buster, really? I love Alexa Bliss. For these reasons and those reasons, trust me. I love her as a wrestler too. But I love the fact that she uses the right hand fist sometimes, just a sucker punch out of nowhere to get the victory, but I do not like the DDT.
Yeah.
Whereas Maurice throws that hair whip in, and suddenly it's her DDT, and I believe it.
Yeah.
Anybody that uses a DDT as a finisher, I'm still not convinced that the clothesline from hell is anything. I know it's an iconic finishing move, and I think we even
it's an arm flail.
like the fucking leg drop.
But Ilya Dragunov would use the clothesline from hell just as his opening move. Honestly, there are guys that do nothing but the lariat.
Yeah.
And whereas, the discus lariat throws a little bit of a, something special on
it. Throws a spin on it.
But everyone's using that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that when you see Joe Coffey do it, you can't say that's his fucking all raw best for the bells, motherfucker. Because he does it left-handed too. He does it both ways.
Yep.
He swings that hammer both ways.
He's ambidextrous.
Chris Hero using it too?
Who?
Is it Chris Hero use it too?
His is a forearm. Discus forearm.
Oh, that's right.
The only other person that I see using it as a signature is Natalia Neidhart.
Yeah.
She doesn't usually get a pinfall victory off of it.
I mean, it's pretty much the same fucking move, dude. You have your arm like that or you have your arm like that. It's, it's whatever, but still.
Can you imagine somebody holding for somebody for a German suplex and getting hit by Vesper bells for the same time and getting German suplexed right after?
Oh, it makes me want to see Gallus and the European Union break up. Eichner and
yeah. Oh my God.
Eichner and Joe Coffey become a team. Because I think, oddly enough, because Walter is Austrian, and we call it the Austrian suplex, but I think Eichner delivers the best German suplex of anybody on NXT UK.
Yeah. You talking about Walter? Or
no, Eichner. Eichner delivers a better German suplex than the Austrian Walter.
That's true. Or even a half Nelson suplex out of that. That'd look even more brutal.
Any other moves from individual superstars that we'd like to see combined? Because I can't think of any.
Yeah, I wish when Ricochet and Aleister Black were teaming together, that Aleister Black would have black masked the guy down, and then Ricochet comes down.
It's a good setup, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Time it up. Just drop him.
You know what would have been great? If Mankind would have had Mr. Sacco in the guy's mouth while The Rock delivers the rock bottom.
the mandible claw rock bottom combo, and they both kind of came down at the same time. He just kind of held it in place for it.
For the pinfall?
I was about to say, if it was one of those things where he would just let go of it at the same time, he could easily do the right into people's elbow if he wanted to as well.
Yeah.
He could probably do the people's elbow. If Mankind was on the appropriate side, he could connect with the people's elbow even with the mandible claw on.
Oh, that'd be great. Just dive, jumps over both of them.
See, one I was thinking about was when Michaels and Diesel were teaming up at the time, where Diesel would have hit the powerbomb, Shawn Michaels on the top rope, and he could have hit the elbow drop to end the match. I thought that would have been an interesting way to do it.
That'd be cool too. But everybody, even at that point when they got together, everybody was waiting for Sweet Chin music too. So, but that'd be cool for just tag team maneuvers. Just jackknife power bomb and Michaels' elbow drop. I wouldn't object to that in any way, shape, or form. So,
who gets
attitude adjustment with a sit out power bomb?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've seen that somewhere, or I've seen.
I feel like I have too.
Talking about when John Cena tries the attitude adjustment and Batista, and he goes to turn and Batista hits the Batista bomb afterwards.
No, we're talking about an attitude adjustment on somebody that Batista catches into a Batista bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have seen that.
I think that'd be really cool. I don't think I have seen it. Maybe if somebody actually watches the video and has comments about it, that'd be great.
Yeah, help us look it up on the network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about who delivers to the crowd the best hot tag?
Currently?
Sure, currently.
New Day. Still.
Huh.
That's an interesting pick.
That is an interesting pick, but I can't see how it's wrong. that's the frustrating part, because I want to be like, but then you've got Big E, but you've got all three of them, and somehow they just always seem to make it work no matter the combination. But I think it's because of their connection with the crowd, not necessarily you're waiting for that 1 week superstar to tag in the superstar you know is going to come in and clear house.
Yeah. I was about to say, Shawn Michaels was the king of the hot tag, because Marty Jannetty would get worked over almost the entire match.
Besides that, I would say Usos.
Oh
yeah,
I think theirs comes from what they do as a tag team. Like, everybody wants to see him deliver the double super kick, and everybody wants to see him, like, both come off the top ropes with splashes on the same dude, much like Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy would do when they combined the Swanton with the leg drop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Harlem Heat did it good when Booker T was getting beat down. Stevie Ray was ready for that hot tag. I think Harlem Heat did it real well.
Yeah, because then the big guy comes in. Although, it's weird how Booker T ended up being the bigger single superstar, but I guess that was WCW was a different company.
You know who's kind of become the king of the hot tag that, like, unheralded so far? I will go ahead and call him the prince of it for right now. Has been Kenny Williams. Because, like, anytime we ever see him in a match with Amir Jordan, like, he comes in with that hot tag, he'll do the whole skin the cat cannonball thing you like so much, and he'll deliver a flurry of forearms, or like...
It's a wrecking ball into skinning the cat into a off the other rope suicide dive to the outside. Let's get it correct.
Yes.
Because Kenny Williams is most definitely the king of the hot tags right now, because Jordan sucks balls. And I said it, and I know I'm crapping on my own product here, but Amir Jordan sucks balls. Sorry.
That's true.
He's good at dancing. Cool. It's cool, but
support no DQ.
Amir Jordan sucks balls.
Yeah, Amir Jordan sucks balls.
Yes,
I don't know how that's gonna look editing wise.
Massive balls.
Vince's coconuts, or what he's calling grapefruits. There we go.
Grapefruits.
Yeah, not
so probably a Heart Foundation. Anytime Brett would get the hot tag into Anvil.
That's when you knew you actually had, like, lightning in a bottle, is when people, like, clamored for somebody else to get in the ring versus the person that was in the ring at that point. So, like, if you can get that solidly behind one wrestler to get behind the other wrestlers, you have something special there. That shows a ring general, more or less.
I would say
Lex Luger did good at the hot tag too.
I'd say any team that the Big Show was in, because you know the Big Show would come in and just start swinging and everybody go down.
Who'd you say, Colin?
I thought the Outlaws did good too, especially when Billy got the hot tag. He came in fucking pumped.
Yeah. So what else? What else is on the list that we haven't covered?
I think that covers tag teams pretty well.
Okay, so if we've covered the list, then let's go to just the overall greatest tag teams in history.
Yes.
In history.
For me, top of the chain, Bubba Ray and Devon.
Yes.
The Dudleys.
Great.
That is the creme de la creme of tag team wrestling. That is the Bible of tag team wrestling. And in my other opinion, Arn and Tully. We haven't mentioned them at all this whole video.
I did.
Jerry did.
The Brain Busters.
I might have cut out then. I'm sorry. But
no, that's fine. The Brain Busters were awesome.
Arn and Tully, how much are they referenced in modern tag team wrestling? If you think about it.
Yeah. The game of human chess.
The Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
But
so those are two of my picks, y'all.
Well, I already said my two, and Dudley Boys I agreed as a third. Tied for first would have to be the Heart Foundation and the Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
For me.
Yes.
Because they had all of it. Every bit of all of that.
Yes.
And the Dudley Boys had everything but the manager. That's why I put them at a close third.
I mean, couldn't you, like, what about Sign Guy Dudley? And, you know what I mean? All the people that he had come down with him, like, couldn't
they made their tag team legacy without a manager.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't really even have any managers to mention when they got inducted in the Hall of Fame. I don't think they mentioned anybody as a manager. Anybody that ever came down with them.
Not even Joel Gertner.
Not even Stacy Keibler. And she was technically a manager for them for a little bit. Or a ballet.
I remember a couple of them outfits. I remember.
But
teenage years.
They don't have the manager, so they don't make the top of the list for me. At least as far as this goes. But even even personally speaking, I have to go with Harlem Heat as number one, even above the Hart Foundation. Just because for me, I was a WCW guy.
Yeah.
I was a WWF guy, so I'd switch that, but it's cool.
And Harlem Heat had 10 WCW World Tag Team titles.
Yeah. So what about you, Jerry? Who's at the top?
I'm still kind of mulling it over.
Okay. What about you, Chris? Who's at the top?
Legion of Doom.
Oh, that's good.
I
Yeah.
think for their era, they were very successful with their era in the territories. With like I said, when AWA, NWA, WWF tag titles. Like I said, they were the powerhouse team of that time, and they were very successful, so I had to put them on my number one.
Anybody else?
I mean, what about Demolition?
Demolition.
Great tag team for what they did in that era.
They had the matching face paint.
For that matter, you could go with the Headbangers, though.
Yeah.
And I don't want to mully the list with tag team names that aren't necessarily, because you could also put the Rock and Sock Connection up there, but I really wouldn't.
I mean, up until New Day broke the record, didn't Demolition have the longest tag team title reign of all time?
They did. I'd put them on the list because of that alone. Until
New Day broke that. In the last year?
Well, speaking of tag teams, if we're not talking traditional 1 and 2, you could put the New Day on the list probably.
Oh yeah,
because they certainly meet. I think they meet all the qualifications of the list that we've got.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Entrance included, because the crowd loves their entrance.
It's one of the most elaborate things on the planet. It's like an assault on the senses.
I think they have like 2 variations of their combined finishing move. Like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think New Day has to go on the list. The first time we really mentioned them, Steiner Brothers, yes.
All right, so for me, I've connected all the dots, and promo wise, in ring wise, just even tag championship wise and everything, especially with their work in TLC matches as well. Edge and Christian are, for me, like the ultimate in tag teams, because they do the whole brothers angle. Yes, they've had their feuds and everything, but anytime they got back together in any way, shape, or form, it made it that much better.
But they came out to Edge's entrance music.
Yep.
I veto it. That is basic right there.
But
they didn't have the entrance.
5-second pose.
So you're counting that as their combined. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. They did have something.
Yeah, because Christian didn't have an entrance music all the way till he turned heel. They would use Edge music for the longest time. So they had the Brood, and then they used Edge's music.
They did come out together though.
Yeah.
Yes.
And their Titantron was combined.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Edge's Titantron; it was both of their stuff.
Oh, I'm talking about even when they started coming down off the ramp and started their thing where they were just kind of pointing out to the crowd a lot more. So they're doing that before them were.
I want to throw in the Outsiders.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were I think they probably fall short on 1 or 2 spots on the list, but as iconic as they were for what they did, I mean, because the NWO started with the Outsiders.
Yeah.
So
6-time WCW World Tag Champions, and actually held the TNA World Tag Team Championships too.
So that's not 5 though. Can we get it down to 5? Or just leave the list as it is?
I say leave the list as it is, because there's so many great tag teams, and those are the models for what we need for today versus what we get stuck with, which are usually just fabrications or just teams of brothers on just for the sake of having teams of brothers.
Are we going to talk about before we end the list officially? Are we going to talk about Road Dogg and Billy Gunn?
Oh, we have
New Age Outlaws.
The New Age Outlaws have to be on the list in general because they meet all the qualifications. Because, like, the New Age Outlaws music even, like...
Oh, just their entrance is iconic.
Their entrance was iconic. They had the hot tags with either one of them.
They had China.
either one could get the hot tag and people would go crazy because Road Dogg would just go in there and start throwing punches.
Start jabbing, grab his nuts, do a little dance.
Yeah.
Did they ever have a tag team finisher?
Pushing
They used the pile driver.
Oh yeah, the spike pile driver.
Okay.
The spike Billy Gunn get on top of the rope and Road Dogg set him up for the pile driver, and then Billy Gunn jump off and they hit the pile driver. That's how they won the tag titles.
And the dumpster drop.
Before, yep.
Man, they love that dumpster.
Yes, they did.
They love the shit.
What was it, like the week prior to them joining DX is when they put Chainsaw Charlie and Mankind in it.
Yeah.
And that next week they were in DX with Triple H, China, and X-Pac.
Did anybody keep a list of these?
No.
Okay, well, I don't think I'll be able to remember everybody, but I think I had...
We said the Dudley Boys, we said the Steiner Brothers, we said Harlem Heat, we said the Outsiders, we said Edge and Christian because you vetoed it and we agreed upon it, and then we just went back to the New Age Outlaws.
And then we've got the Heart Foundation.
And the Heart Foundation, yep.
Was it it?
And
I said LOD.
LOD, yeah. See, I knew there was a few that we'd forget. But I think that's all of them.
Yeah, I was about to say, that narrows it down pretty well.
You guys get New Day on that?
New Day, yeah. See? Even still.
Like, the New Day, I'll go ahead and say, is the prototype for a great tag team right now. As hard as that is for me to say, because their gimmick is so...
When you think past your personal feelings on that, though, and you think about all of the qualifications...
Yeah, they meet all of them.
And you think to overlook them, I think it's because they're a non-traditional Freebird rule tag team.
I was about to say the Freebirds. If we're gonna bring New Day, I think Freebirds at some point because they innovated what New Day.
Let's call the Freebirds the what do you call it when they don't make the list but they almost
honorable mention.
Honorable mentions.
It's called Freebirds the honorable mention.
Because Freebird rule, I think, would be a whole other topic we could talk about.
Now, if we only had 9. Then we can call it the top 10.
Yeah.
I don't know how many we had.
I'd say we had about 10, so that works out.
So let's just throw them on there.
Yeah.
Throw them on there. Why not?
All right.
I mean, they have their own rule named after them, so.
Oh yeah. Well, they innovated it, is what it was.
It's kind of like the Michinoku driver.
Yes.
Lots of people use it, but when you see it done, it's named after him.
Yep.
It's not like the Rock Bottom. Rock Bottom is the Uranagi motherfucker. Plenty of people do a Uranagi cross the leg, onto the mat maybe, followed by a standing moonsault for Jordan Devlin's greatest hit #1.
Yeah.
So I think that's good for the show, man.
Yes, it was, man. That turned into a really great topic.
There's some shit that we probably could talk about from the last week or two of wrestling news, but let's just leave it at tag teams.
Yeah.
Because it's been almost an hour already.
We'll catch up on that soon after you finish off the Super Showdown.
So, if you guys have been following us for however many months, probably nearly a year at this point that we've been on the air doing this, you know that Colin hasn't been on the show in about a month. So we are glad you are feeling better, sir.
Better-ish.
Yes.
Makes sense.
So you guys can leave your love down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's just go into the plugs, shall we?
Yes.
Chris Mace, where can we find you?
You could follow me on Facebook at Christopher Mace, and pretty much I say just support No DQ and support all the hard work that the NX team does. And I'm glad to have my dynamic duo back with me again on one of these shows. I'm glad you're feeling better, Colin.
The tag team champions of the 4 horsemen of NXT.
Yes.
You guys would be Tully and Arn.
Yeah, you guys would be Tully and Arn.
So you can figure out who's Tully and who's Arn. Colin, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Colin26Andrew. You can follow me on my YouTube channel, Colin Andrew, COLIN space ANDREW. You can keep supporting the lovely No DQ NX team, who I happen to be the predictions champ for. And also I am another title holder, but I will let Stefan tell you the name of that channel. We'll go from there. But yeah, keep supporting all these gentlemen. Keep supporting the Civil Man, Noah Foster, the Duchess of Team No DQ, NX Team, Cindy G. You can check her stuff out on YouTube. I don't remember her plugs.
It is simply _C_OK.
Yep.
You can find Noah at Noah Foster 210.
210.
You can find let's see,
James
Hebert at Weymouth Youth Wrestling. That's WEYMOUTH Youth Wrestling, and you can find Owen Finch on Fortune 44.
Yep.
I try and remember these things so that I can plug my guys when they're not on the screen.
Yep.
Other than that, you can find me on Twitter. That's at nodq.com/Stefan, STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. And since it is Best Friends Day, Jerry now knows what the R actually stands for.
And Stefan knows my phone number.
Yeah, that was our best friend's gifts.
Hey, we know each other's phone number too now, so in all fairness here.
We've been doing these videos for like 9 months, and every time I bring up his phone number, because I have to call him on Instant Messenger, he's just like, well, you can call me on Instant Messenger. I'm like, all right, man, okay, that's cool. That's cool. And then he tells me his number, and he's like, you could have found it if you wanted to. I'm like, no, you had to say it.
Well, yeah, so.
But speaking of Jerry, you can also find the gentleman on Twitter.
At No DQ General, because that's the nickname that I initially went with. Or my Facebook group Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR, exclamation point. It's good to have a punctuation back behind me.
Yes. Yes. His answer to the lag.
Join up with us. You can find any gentlemen, they'll go ahead and get you plugged into a group, but don't try to add us as friends because that just won't work out well.
No, unless you're super cool like Chris Willis.
Yes.
We added him.
We want you on the show, Chris.
Yes.
We also want Israel Diaz on the show.
Israel Diaz.
A great fan of the show. Not only does he watch all the time, but he comments all the time. And we really appreciate that. I don't know why it's taken this long to shout out Israel Diaz, but I would think that he's going to watch, even though it's bonus rated R content, whatever. He'll probably watch it. That's a dedicated fan, man. So if you've made it this far, Israel, it's for a reason. We want to shout you out. Other than that, if you're not watching this on Aftermatch, come watch us on Aftermatch. These videos. Oh, you are watching.
You are watching us on Aftermatch.
Yeah,
this is Aftermatch bonus content.
What did we name it? Aftermatch something?
Extra? Aftermatch extra?
It's an Aftermatch extra. That's what we will call the bonus content from now on. So if you are watching this here, you can see that we are at 85 subscribers. As of today. We're back to getting like a subscriber every day or two, which is really cool. And every time I see that, I send him a message and I tell him what the new number.
Even if he's on the toilet.
So even if he's sleeping.
Yep.
So we are at 85. We would like your help to get to 100. And we are no longer going to do our No DQ videos live. That's the bad news at 100.
Yeah.
Because we cannot. It turns out it takes 1,000 subscribers now. I don't know what changed recently, but it takes 1,000 subscribers to go live on YouTube. I had previously gotten permission to go live. We have gone live before, and we only had a couple of dozen subscribers, and now we can't go live without 1,000. So YouTube has killed our dream, but our new dream
is to get 1,000 subscribers.
Is to get 1,000 subscribers so we can go live with NXT. So YouTube, I guess you crushed one dream that we were so close to, but you have given us a new, more lofty goal.
What we need to do is make up some flyers for Toronto.
What I need to do is save up a little money and put up ads on YouTube or on Facebook.
No, we just need a bunch of flyers to give to a whole bunch of friendly Canadians.
I bet you $1,000 in ads on Facebook would get us to 1,200.
I bet showering in a crowd with 1,000 ads at Toronto would
No,
actually
because
work out
Toronto's
very
probably one of those
Lord.
cities that bans those kind of flyers because they create so much trash. Like there are a lot of cities, especially big cities like that you can only put up or hand out or put up flyers if it's for missing children or missing pets. We would have to hand them out one by one in order to stay legal, and I don't think I'm going to do that while we're visiting.
If I was actually a basketball fan, I would actually like throw out some shade right now, but I'm not going to. So I was gonna say it's like the only trash up in Toronto right now is the Golden State Warriors.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Cindy's going to be pissed.
I know.
So, I know what that means.
Tell her to come on the show. It's been a while.
It has.
That's all I have to
She
say.
hasn't been on since I think the last time.
We did predictions, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's because my schedule changed, and therefore she was not able to do the show anymore because schedules conflict.
Yeah.
But this is proof that there are times that we can do the show when everybody should be available, unless it's a specific work day.
You had to sell your shifts to do it.
Oh yeah, I'm only off today because I paid somebody to take my shift.
Yeah.
Because the overtime wasn't enough. He wanted my Sunday, which is double time. I'd already gotten rid of that. Everybody wants that. But I was like, dude, I'm trying to pay somebody $50 to take it. Will the $50 tip the scales? And he's like, I got you. And I'm like, yeah, because all I need is 40. I'm already getting 50. Like I can drop $50.
That's a week to talk about right there.
For a goddamn day off. I mean, if you make it this far in the video, here's a treat for you. I have a job where I fucking pay people to take my overtime.
Yep.
I live in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. It's cheap as fuck to live here, dude. I have a factory job. I make good money. 40 hours is all I need. I have to take 50. Nobody will take my Friday.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I'll pay somebody $50 to get a day off. A day off is totally worth it.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Any other plugs? Since it is Aftermatch already?
I guess we can go ahead and say support No DQ.
Yeah, support No DQ.
Yeah.
Buy
If you're
a
on
t-shirt.
Aftermatch, but you're not subscribed to No DQ, first of all, how did you find us?
Yeah, seriously.
And
I can
let
barely
me know so I can duplicate that.
I can barely find us on No DQ.
So, we're all over the YouTube channel, but we don't get mentioned very often until Colin calls in. Thank you, Colin.
Yeah, no problem.
Honestly, I appreciate
Colin.
Once I finish watching the Super Showdown, I will watch that video so that I can appreciate Colin. And good to know that it's first caller, so if I want to stop the video, I can get through it immediately anyway. Oh, so
I just start ranting though. So.
But for real, NoDQ.com, man. Like that's how you find us.
Yeah.
And so. And buy a shirt, NoDQ.com/shirts.
And if you're really anxious to meet us or reveal yourself to be a stalker, that'd be cool. We'll be up in Toronto.
Yeah, get yourself a passport. Go to Toronto on August, blah, blah, blah. I think it's the last weekend of August.
This first
17th.
weekend.
The first weekend of August?
Yeah, so like the 8th, 9th, and 10th or some crap
Yeah,
like that.
I hope CBS
Oh,
does
yeah.
passport photos
It's my
on
birthday.
Sundays.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot that's my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, we're going to be in Toronto for the No DQ meetup. And I don't think these guys are going to be there. It's not a team or an NX team meetup, although Cindy and Noah will be there, and they are officially a NX team.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool. Cindy and Noah, Aaron's going to be there, Caitlin's going to be there, I think Virtue's going to be there. Is Big G going to be there?
I don't think he's gonna be.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Alright, I think we're all done.
So, for the holiday, Chris Mace. For the River, Colin Andrew. For the General Jerry Slaughter, I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne, and thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Have a good night, y'all.
Someone bring punch and pie next time.
More people will come if you bring punch and pie.